Hello, everyone. I would first like to start out greeting all the new people who have started following my channel from my Steven Universe art and AU. And I'd also like to greet all of the pre-established followers, as this channel was originally created for my game One Way Lane. It's been a while since I have put out an update video like this where I come out in person, but it's nice to meet all of the new people. Hello, my name is Roach. That's my pin name, at least. I have put off making this video for a while now, but I think it's finally time. This is to address my game One Way Lane and where the production is at. As a lot of people know, I started One Way Lane when I was 19 years old after an unsuccessful suicide attempt that put me in a coma. And One Way Lane was very much a event project. It was a project that in many ways helped me cope at the time with everything that I was going through in life. And as people saw in 2025, life was pretty awful. I've since moved on to greener pastures. No, I moved from Kansas to Europe. I live in Europe now. And a lot of things have changed for the better in my life. That being said, as someone trying to recover from CPTSD and all the things that have happened to me, I have kind of lost my connection and joy in making One Way Lane. And while I feel like art like One Way Lane does serve a purpose and it is helpful towards recovery, I currently feel like it has served its personal purpose for me. I love making art, and I think a part of this Steven Universe saga of all the art I'm putting out is me proving to myself that I didn't get all this attention and stuff for my work just because of how awful my life story was and that I was presenting it to people. This is gonna sound really silly, but it felt like one of those moments, or it felt like the moment where it's like, you know, are you the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo, or are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest? And this current chapter has been like proving to myself, like, it's not my life story and the insanity of it that drew people's attention to me. It's that I do have genuine talent in writing, in art, and animation that people actually enjoy. And I'm gonna say a statement that might ruffle a few feathers, but your trauma at the end of the day is honestly the least interesting part of yourself. And with One Way Lane, it is just about my childhood trauma and how fucked up my life was. And, you know, I've dealt with a lot of hate over the years from other game devs, from other fandoms, from random people, from the people, you know, who the stories are based upon. It's really uncomfortable to find out your ex-boyfriend has stalked your game socials for like 3 years and probably still is, simply because he was afraid that he would show up in the project somehow and would get canceled online, even though has no social media presence and is literally nobody. And then, you know, the kind of crossroads where the stalking situation with my mom happened, and then she was using like sock puppet accounts to comment horrific things under my videos, and having to get a restraining order, and like an account that people believed to be her showing up in my Discord, and people immediately roasting said account until they were banned. it puts an uncomfortable taste in your mouth every time you make a post about a project you've dedicated years to, knowing like there's a few people just waiting for you to post about it to like angrily seethe over it, and it like fuels this fire to them. It feels like you're poking like an angry bear and hoping you don't get mauled. And in a way it feels like you're giving more fuel to a fire that you've already put out. And you know, with CPTSD, your brain kind of loops everything that's happened to you. And while originally One Way Lane did help me process everything and did help me have a support system and a sort of escapism from it all, working on it now just feels like forcing myself back into those loops where I have to think about all the horrible stuff that has happened to me and reorganize it into a understandable format for viewers. And not just that aspect, but like, it is about my life. I am putting myself out there, and the world is pretty awful to victims of literally anything. And with how the internet has already engaged with what little is out there, even despite all the positive, I've obviously gotten a ton of positive response. It's scary. I mean, while the game and the main character is based upon me, clearly she doesn't look exactly like me. I'm sorry to say it, but you couldn't really put a plus-size, curly-haired girl with glasses into a video game about how fucked up her life is and expect the world to take it seriously and not mock it. That's why we don't have a book-accurate version of Carrie, and we never will. That's why people still to this day turn the movie Precious into a joke, despite it being genuinely the most fucked up piece of media out there about a girl's horrible life and her horrible trauma. If you don't look a certain way, if your character doesn't look a certain way, they don't gain audience sympathy from majority of people. And in a way it feels like I've been disingenuous from the start because of that, but I don't know. I guess imagine putting all your worst moments out there in a playable format, and it is free to be ripped apart by the world and the internet as a whole. And do you think that would help anything? This is not to say like I'm just shelving the project forever and that I will never work on One Way Lane again or I'll never finish it. This is not right now. I'm exploring my other projects artistically. I'm exploring myself as a person, and where my life is right now, this project doesn't align with me. It doesn't fulfill me, and it actively pulls me back to a state that is harmful to my personal life. It's hard to make a video like this because when I did start the project, a lot of people were awful in the game dev community. A lot of people were awful in the indie community. A lot of people said I would never finish it, that it would go nowhere. I remember one dude told me, your game won't even get 300 downloads. And my demo now has almost 7,000 on itch.io and 8,000 on Steam. So clearly I've proven some of those people wrong, but it doesn't feel good to remember all the things that have been said to me and now say, hey, I'm temporarily walking away from this project. But I feel like I have to address it and not just silently shelf it and give the already established fans no updates, because that's not fair to anybody either. So I'm making this video now, and I hope that people can be understanding and still enjoy the work that I put out there, new and old fans of the stuff that I make. But I felt like I needed to make this update and have this honest conversation with the people who were already here before I made this shift. I still want to thank everybody. I mean, it has been an amazing journey making One Way Lane, being an artist online, learning to animate, learning to game dev. I mean, I'm self-taught in all of this. I unfortunately never got to go to any sort of formal schooling for anything because of how my life worked out. But that doesn't mean that my life has been any lesser, and One Way Lane has been a testament to that. My life now is a testament to that, and I hope that that can still bring a level of hope and positivity to anyone who might have been in the situation I was in that led to me making One Way Lane. That your life isn't going to be horrible forever, that things can get better even if it's within the realm of imagination. I mean, I went from having to sleep in a Fiat 500 at a local lake when things would get bad enough at the house I had to stay in while finishing high school that wasn't even my parents' home, and wondering if I'd even finish high school, and going to school every day covered in bruises and filthy and just the worst time of my life, to now I live in Europe. I'm married. I get to go to a farmer's market every weekend, and affordably so, hand pick all of my fresh vegetables and go to the fishmonger and the butcher, and it feels like I'm in some sort of really corny, cheesy, stereotypical, like Hallmark Disney movie something, but I get to do that every weekend with my husband. We get to cook literally anything we want to do ever, because I personally love cooking, my husband loves cooking. Recently we cooked a monkfish. If you don't know what a monkfish is, it is a horrific looking fish, but you know, it's called poor man's lobster. It's the texture of lobster. It kind of just tastes like cod. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Butter really carries that cut of fish far. But I'm now free from the situation that created One Way Lane, and now I want to explore life outside of it and not just dedicate more and more time overwhelmingly to just, yep, these are all the bad things that happened to me. Let me draw 300 frames of animation of it, you know, and put it out there. Things are better, and I'm very blessed. And it's not a forever. It's just a not right now. Thank you for watching, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. You know, good morning, good evening, and good night.